a fantastic sunset from the Cairngorms. This is looking to Ben Nevis and Craig Meggie. Mist forming in the glens and swinging round over the Monolier and distant hills in the north. Tremendous colours in the sky, but it will be dark soon and I need to find somewhere to camp and get the tent up. I'm camped in the Cairngorms at about 1100 metres. It's almost the end of December. This will certainly be my last night out this year. It was a sunny day, beautiful sunset, very cold, the ground's frozen. I bent a couple of pegs pitching the tent, but the views were spectacular. Colours, I say, in the sky at sunset were wonderful. I did video those. I'll put that up in a bit. But now I'm comfortably ensconced in the tent. I've had some cup of soups and I'm now boiling some water to make some noodles with a curry sauce. And this is the first outdoor use of the new Fire Maple Petrel Ultralight backpack stove. A rather long-winded name. I shall just call it the Petrel stove from now on, as I don't think yet there's another one under that name. And this, of course, is with the Fire Maple, the 800ml petrol pot, which, as you can see, fits okay onto this stove. The air temperature at the moment is minus 2.5. I don't know what the water temperature is, but it's not far above freezing, as there's ice on top of it. Crunch the water bottle, yeah, there's a bit of ice on the surface of the water in that. Crunch up noodles. We're pretty close to boiling. And then these noodles are a 4-minute simmer, so not very long. And there's a sauce packet to go in with them. Yeah, we have boiling. And given the air temperature and the water temperature, that wasn't too long to bring, what, 300 mil to the boil there. A few minutes, but quite a few stoves would have taken longer. Now, to see if I can turn the stove down a little without it going out. That sounds okay. It's bubbling, but not looking as though it's going to boil over. The packet says 4 minutes for noodles. What I usually do is taste them every so often, and when I think they're cooked, then I'll eat them. Sometimes that's 4 minutes is accurate, but sometimes it's done sooner than that, which I think is going to be the case now. But sometimes it takes longer. Let's try some. I think that's near enough done. Quiet. It's not the noisiest stove around, but it's still quite noticeable. I don't think I really need this hood up. That's better. Feels freer without it. Well, now to eat my noodles. So I'll record a bit more video once I've done that. The noodles were very tasty and suitably filling. Now all I have to do is clean the pot, which is a very minor disadvantage of meals that aren't boil in the bag, but a bit of water and a wipe round and it'll be ready to make coffee in the morning. It is an advantage of a wide pot like this. If you're going to cook food in it, it's much easier to clean than a tall, narrow pot. And generally, I don't use boil in the bag meals. I'm more likely to buy, pasta meals and like this noodle meals or instant potato from the supermarket and eat those, especially on long walks, where if you're having boil in the bag meals every night, the cost can rise rapidly. Anyway, it's got a bit hazy outside now. There is a moon with a halo round it. The weather is due to change in a day or two. As I say, the weather is due to change in a day or two, turning slightly milder. I believe in 2 days' time they're forecasting a high of +5, but then turning colder with snow. So it may be that by the end of this week these hills will all be white. There's lots of patches of snow at the moment, snow that is rock hard. If you're going to walk far on it, you definitely need spikes or crampons. But this is old snow from the heavy snowfall of what must be getting on for a month ago now. And there's been very little since. So although it's very cold, say the ground is frozen, there isn't much snow. So maybe the next time I'm out camping, I'll be in snow and I'll be using skis or snowshoes for the first trip of 2026. I can hope so anyway. For tonight, I'm going to settle down soon and get some sleep, get an early night, wake up and have breakfast in the dark, so I'm all ready to set off as soon as it gets light, which is around about 8:30, 9 o'clock now. As well as the stove, I'm also testing the mat, which is this. It's quite thick, so far it feels quite comfortable. It's the Alpkit Radiant, and it's meant to be very warm. And I think tonight I'm going to find out whether it is or not. Anyway, I'll have a last look and wander around outside before I settle down. A last venture outside. Here's the tent. Behind it, you can just see pale patches of snow on the hillside and the light of my headlamp. And up there is the moon, the halo around it. And down there is the corrie. I'm in the upper edge of the corrie, not that far below the rim. It's only a little one, this, but this is looking down it and round again to the slopes rising up the other side. And if we go back, you can see the shadow of my headlamp making shadow of the camera. And then back to the tent. And a last look, let's go up and have a look at the moon. As this is just an overnight trip and I'm not walking any great distance, I actually bought a flask with hot ginger cordial in it, which is something I usually drink after dinner at home, and I thought I'd bring some with me this time, which means I'm not making the hot chocolate I often make on cold nights when out in the tent. So I have filled the pot with 600 ml or probably a bit more of water, because I expect it'll freeze overnight and then I'll be able to thaw it out over the stove in the morning. And the water bag has now got quite a bit of ice in it already. I have got another water bag on the rucksack, which I hope will still have some usable water in the morning, but if not, I have got the 600ml that's in the pot, and it's not that far. The burn in this little corrie, which pours out of a spring in the hillside fairly strongly, and it is still running. That's where I got water from cooking, so I didn't have to hack up any of the very hard snow and try and thaw it out. Oh, that's nice. I say, hot ginger cordial, nothing better. Anyway, yet again, I will say good night. For some reason, my microphone didn't work in the morning. May have been the cold, probably user error. Anyway, what it means is you can see me talking and you can't hear me. So what was I saying? Well, first of all, I was commenting that the temperature had dropped to minus 5.5 Celsius overnight, and I'd been warm and comfortable and slept well. I was also saying that I was pleased with the stove and pot and the canister, because the stove had fired up in the morning, despite all this stuff having sat on the frozen ground overnight with the porch door open, and it all worked very well and boiled water, and first of all melted the ice in the pot and then boiled the water for a cup of coffee and then for some porridge. I also noticed that the tent fly sheet was frozen inside and out, and in fact coated with thin sheets of ice, which I was able to knock some of it off by tapping the fly sheet, but that did tend to bring a shower down inside as well, so I didn't do it very often. And finally, I ended my clip by waving about my hot Java lava coffee bag, which I was looking forward to drinking as the water came to a boil, and the little video ended and I stopped talking to no one in particular, and without knowing that no one would ever hear what I was saying. The microphone was still not working when I went outside to walk round the tent and have a look at what the world outside was like. Now you can see here the frost and ice on the tent and on the ground, the mist not far above. Occasionally it came over the camp, and then towards the end of the little clip I knocked some of the ice off the tent with my hand. The fact that it came off so easily did mean that when I took the tent down, I could shake the fly sheet hard and get rid of an awful lot of the ice, so it didn't take too long to dry out when I got it home. On that coriander spray in a cold wind. I think this subsidiary top of Cairngorm is going to be my last summit of the year. I don't think I want to wander about anymore in this mist. It is quite atmospheric, lots and lots of frosted ground and slippery rocks that require some care, and the occasional granite tor looming out of the mist. That one up there I think is the actual high point. I've just come past it. I came to this one because I've got a bit of shelter from the wind for making this little video clip. I'm going along the edge of it. You can see out to, there's another granite tor looming out of the mist over there, but a few hundred meters is the most you can see. So I think I will start to head down.